Alright, let's talk about this story now. Let's start, because honestly, I'm not going to wait forever. Let's get down to business. So, as I was saying earlier, this story I am bringing you today is a story that happened years ago. 2 years ago. And it's this story ends last year. And I feel like I should share it with you guys. Because it's not only emotional, but I just have to share it with you. It's a great story that I must share. It is very sad, but nonetheless a great story. I'm not someone who cries, so I most likely won't shed a tear. But don't think that because I don't shed a tear, I'm not sad about it, okay? I will be sad. So, let's just start, okay? Back in the days, I used to be a developer. I used to make servers on Gary's mod. And this story happened between my first server, aka HGS, and the second remake of the server that I wasn't the owner of. So this story happened after HGS, after the fall. After HGS died, I was very, very sad. I was very, I'd say depressed. Because it was, well, HGS was one of my dreams coming true. It was me realizing a dream. So, of course, I was sad about it. I was sad that it died. But then I couldn't do much. So I just had to move on. So after HGS, what I did was to just start playing Smite. I had a goal back then, and it was to start playing Smite and become the greatest at Smite. I've always been that kind of guy that always wants to be the best. I wanted to become the best. But clearly that did not work out too well. Because here I am today, and I'm not the best at Smite. And I'm here trying to get the best at Fortnite. So, back in the days I was playing Smite a lot, about 2 years ago. And I wasn't even streaming back then. So, after a while of playing Smite, you know, I was making some friends, I was meeting new people, I was talking with people, and of course I was playing solo. I was playing all by myself, always playing Smite. I wasn't talking to any of my old friends because I had a lot of friends back then. Foxy White was one of them, Marcus was one of them, and I never really played with them. I just isolated myself from this world. Every day I would play Smite, all my free time, that would be Smite, nothing else, absolutely nothing else. So, in Smite, of course, because I was playing a couple of games, and quite a few games to be honest, I was meeting a bunch of people, and I met this guy that we're here to talk about today. His name was Ray, and he was Ukrainian. He was a very good guy, a developer, so we had this in common. Basically, we played together. I think we played in Arena, and we met each other's. He was Chunga, he was always healing me, and I was just killing everything with him. We were completely insane together. That was unbelievable. Almost like if it was destiny just bringing us together to fucking wreck ass. So, well, I hated this guy, and I found out that he was Ukrainian. And, well, he did speak English. It wasn't his mother tongue, and honestly, you could see that, but he managed to speak English pretty well. He was able to communicate with me. He, basically, he had other friends as well, and this guy Well, he had other friends and they were Ukrainian and they didn't speak English for shit. But he invited me to play with them nonetheless. So I did. I did play with them. And I mean, they were nice people. They were pretty good. They were talking Ukrainian. I don't even know if that's the language they spoke. I guess it is. They were I couldn't understand, but when it came to me, they were talking in English with me. They were trying pretty hard to talk in English, and that was pretty nice of them. So I recruited Ray, invited him to the clan we once called Light Phoenix. That used to be our clan on Smite, and it still is a thing. But of course, I don't take care of it as much. Now, Foxy White is the one who's currently taking charge. But he joined the clan, and quickly he became very, very well known in the clan. I guess he was pretty good, and with him, I was, I guess, unbeatable. I remember playing against Zach and Marcus. They were together. They had some amazing gods, and that was basically a custom game. It was a 2v2, and I teamed up with Ray, of course, and basically it was Joust. We had 2 players against 2 players, and we had random gods. We couldn't pick what we were going to play with. And I remember getting a Guardian, which basically is a god that does not deal a lot of damage, but takes a lot of damage before dying. So a tank, basically. And Ray got Aphrodite, which of course is a healer. So we were gonna fuck with our team comp, because we had 2 magical, and in Smite we've got defense items that can either counter that shit, or well, I mean, not. So if you've got only magical gods, the other team, the enemy team, is able to just buy magical defense, and your damage won't be as effective. So, well, I mean, we were screwed. We had a really bad team comp. And the surprising thing here is we were not even scared. Marcus was a hunter and Zach was a mage. I think Zach was Ra, which is a healer as well. And they had an amazing team comp. They probably, speaking like that, they would have kicked our ass. But we didn't not give up. We didn't give a shit. We were not even scared. So Zinktime, basically a god that is now my main, and Aphrodite is now well, Ray's main. We just went straight in. We didn't give a shit, and we fucking wrecked them. Ray was healing me, and I was dealing the damage. I was going and taking the enemies. I did not need to deal a lot of damage. I was able to just outplay them. We were playing so well together. Almost like everything was planned. We weren't even saying anything, and we knew exactly what the other guy would do. So communication was not needed. We were unbeatable. It was insane. Ray, for a fact, really enjoyed it. And, well, we just kept on playing together. We were unbeatable together. Every time I played with him, we would win almost 99% of our games. Every single time I played with him, I would win my games, honestly. And Ray was not like me. He was legit the opposite of me. He was that kind of guy that remains calm in every kind of situations. And you've got me on the other end, right here, who's that kind of guy that legit gets pissed off really easily and starts yelling and rages a lot. I know you guys already know that, and I'm just kind of pointing out facts. I rage a lot. But Ray, he didn't mind that. He didn't give a shit about that, and he didn't care. He would just keep on playing, and he would say, okay, dude, it's okay, calm down. We made a mistake there, we won't do it again. It'll be fun. He was a very naturally wise person, a very naturally calm person. Very wise and calm. So, I would play with him every time I could, because, I mean, I didn't really play with anyone else. I was just playing Smite alone, because nobody else used to play it as much as me. So, Ray, play with me pretty much. I'd say even if there's a time zone difference, he would play with me a couple of games a day. And we would always get better, get a lot of kills, a lot of stuff. On weekends, we would legit just play entire days together. We would kick ass. We were really strong. And then, of course, well, one day, I discovered about HGS Remake, which was, I think it was called HGN. Oh no, it was HGS, but anyway, it was a remake, and it was not the same thing as the first HGS, which I was the owner of, but not the founder, because I just took over, basically, kind of stole the server. But, well, I discovered about it, and I joined their server, and I wanted to kind of check what was happening, because, you know, the community was like, hey, HGS is back, you should come and check it out. I was like, okay. I don't know. I don't know. And then I had the wonderful idea because I and Ray started playing Minecraft. Void's Rat, that was a mod pack back then, and there was a server. Basically, you had a public server, an official server that you could play on. It was pretty big. It was really amazing. It had a lot of mods in it, and it was really fun to play. Some kind of RPG, basically. Really fun with a lot of bosses. It was fun to play. And because Ray was a programmer, he knew Java, and I knew how to basically lead servers, I offered Ray to make a Minecraft server. And I was like, okay, I know, because he previously mentioned that he wasn't too rich, because his country was pretty poor, and he wasn't really in good states and all, and so I told him that, you know what? Let's start a Minecraft server. If we're successful, which we most likely will, I will give you like 60% of the money, because I don't need it as much as you do. And that was the point. That was the plan. We would just go and get donations, pay for the server hoster, and we would just create the server and make it enjoyable for other people. So we created that, and he was extremely talented. He was really good, and he managed to create an entire different version of the mod pack. And I don't even know how he could do that, because I didn't really understand what he was doing back then, because I still don't, honestly. Like, he had some natural talents. He was really good at it, really good at programming, and he managed to just completely fucking remake the mod pack, which was insane back then. He had to download every mod. He was really, really hyped. And all of this, he said, hey, you know what? If it's not successful, it's okay. I gain experience. I will be able to talk about it with my friends, and I'll be able to say I've done that. So while I was there and I was like, no, it needs to be successful on my side. I wanted success. You could see that we had two very different personalities. I was there for success, and he was there for the experience. On my side, I couldn't fail. I didn't want to fail. And on his side, he didn't really care. He was going to do it for the experience and to learn more and to get better. So we kept moving on. I was basically sharing ideas. We were basically partners, and we kept on going. Basically, it was programming. I was changing the names of the server. We were editing files together. It was insane. It was really, really special. And then one day, I was offered to come back as basically a staff on HGS, the new remake. And I offered them to make some kind of an alliance between the two servers. And we did. It wasn't that successful, though. Spoiler, it was not successful whatsoever. But we just moved on. Then I was a founder on the HGS remake. I wasn't the owner. I wasn't really taking decisions of everything. It was very different of what it used to be. Because I've already talked about it in the past, like a year ago. I don't want to talk about it again. But I could talk about it again. Storytime with Calvery is not something new, and it's something that has been done before. I'm just bringing it back because I feel like I should talk about it. and I should talk about this story in particular. So after rejoining this new HGS remake, which basically was a Star Wars RP, by the way, I just think I should point that out. I was not really working on the Minecraft server, and I was just kind of telling Ray what to do, and I mean, I was kind of an ass, honestly. Thinking about it, I couldn't do shit. I didn't have the knowledge required. So I would just tell him what to do and all. And I remember, like, just saying, hey, you know what, dude? You need a break. I'm gonna give you some free games. I'm gonna buy you this pack of games, this bundle, and we'll play these games together. And he was like, no, dude, don't do that, please, come on. And I did anyway. And he was very grateful. He was, because he couldn't, like he said that, I can't really afford a lot of games. I'm not too rich, and life's hard here. And I just bought it. I thought it was a great gift. And then, I mean, we played Smite, we kept on moving, we kept on programming the server. Once it was programmed and up, we realized that it was a lot harder than expected to get people on the server. And kids were, let's just say kids were really afraid of downloading the mod pack. They were like, oh no, that's a virus. You're gonna kill my computer. You're gonna hack me. But we weren't that kind of people. So the launcher we made was apparently too suspicious for kids to use. So the server was a big failure. All the artwork we invested in that, let's just say it did not pay well. So we kept playing Smite, and one day Ray told me that he couldn't talk. That he had a friend of his, a girl in particular, crying in the back, and he was trying to comfort her. And well, I was like, okay, that's all right. I'll just talk. You don't have to talk. Just mute yourself. And that's what we did. We would just use the calls and Smite. And yeah, we kept playing like that for a little while, and it was all right. And then we kept on moving. Ray was offline. It wasn't online as often. So I was wondering what was happening. I remember I can go on the what used to be Curse voice. On the Wednesday, September 14, 2016, it was when I had a Ray for the first time. I am telling a personal story. Welcome back, Crisis. And then, I remember we called each other a lot. Over here we've got, oh, there you go, hold on. I want to capture this display. Display capture. Okay. Oh, I'm going to put that here. We're talking about a pretty sad story, Crisis. Back when I didn't stream. So, we want a full screen, right? So that was Ray, okay? So this is the first time we talked with each other, and we were just talking, and that was a song he made. If we, oh my god, oof. So basically, that was a song he made. And we talked. He made some music. Apparently, it has been removed. But he made that song. He was an artist. He had a really special personality, and he was very nice. Always calm. He would never get pissed off. A really kind person. And if you scroll down over here, we got some hidden content. Okay, and that is when we started the Minecraft server. Where we were talking about coding stuff. We can see everything here. We had emails, we had passwords and stuff. We had a funny video here that he posted. How English sounds to non-English. And he would... Because I used to listen a lot to music like that before. He sent me this song and he was like, I like this remix of the song you are listening to. And he sent that. And then you can see October 2016. I don't work today. I'm fine. The only thing I might work on is the server. At least I hope on it. We were basically working on it a lot. What is this picture? I want to see it though. Because that sad face means a lot, you know? What is this? Great picture. Okay. I'm just gonna give up with that. So, yeah. Back then we made servers. I've said all that, okay. But we talked about it for a long time, and then the more you go down in that chat, you can slowly think. You can slowly see that the last chat get active, and I was asking a lot. Here we've got 7 days left. We were we were running low on time, and I didn't want to pay for the server, so I was kind of getting nervous. I was like, can you hurry up, please? And, well, of course, that was a lot of stress on him. And then we just kept playing Smite between that. And I remember one day that he was telling me that basically it was his parents were sick or something, and they were sad, and he was trying to comfort them, so he couldn't play. Let me just find that. We've got a bunch of fucking things here. This is basically a gold mine. If I read that, over here, he's talking about an update. He's talking about the launcher. He's talking about here. Okay, he talks about all the codes and stuff. He was really good with that. That was insane, dude. He sent me the first 13 minutes origami. I don't know why. You'll probably regret it. I know I remember sending it Payday 2. Damn. It feels like a suicide story. Oof. Be reassured, it isn't. Trying to find, like, we were talking about codes there, and then if you scroll down, 5:36. All right, hold on, got to do something on Gary's mod, and then I said yeah, and then the last thing I sent was, I hope you copied all the files on the server. We won't get any donations. So that is when we knew that the server was going to be a big failure. But back to when we played Smite. So one day, his parents were sad, and I mean, his mother was sick or something. I don't remember. And Ray was like, I can't play today. My mother's sick. I need to comfort her. And then I said, I hope everything goes for the best for you. And what really shocked me is that Ray was such a positive guy. He was always so positive in everything. He was that 300 typical IQ guy. He was very smart, very wise, and I can't get this sentence out of my mind. It fucking remained. He said it won't. And then I was like, how do you know? He just said, trust me, I know it won't. That's just how it is. So I was like, oh, that's awful. What's going on? I didn't ask him more because that was kind of personal, and I just said, all right, dude, if you want to talk about it, I'm here for you, because that's the kind of guy I am. I'm here to provide emotional support if you need it. I'm just saying. Hello, the sister. This is Evie. Yeah, so I mean, we knew that his mother was sick, and I was like, man, this is bad. A couple of weeks after he came back, and I was like, dude, I miss you. It's been a while. He was like, yeah, it's been a while. Let's play some games, and we played some Smite again. We played some other games in Smite, and everything seemed clear. Everything seemed fine, but sometimes, I mean, he was coughing. It was I don't know. I don't know, honestly, but sometimes he would just cut off his mic. We just kept on playing the game, and one day, he just disappeared. And he came back only a month after. And, I mean, I tried to play some games with him. I managed to talk with him a little. And, he was online. And I don't even remember if we managed to play a game together. I think we didn't. After that, again, he came back a week after, and he wasn't responding to any of my messages. And he kind of just disappeared after. I never really saw him ever again. And this guy, I remembered having that conversation with him, and I was like, dude, you're the nicest and probably the wisest guy I've ever met. It's just a shame that your country kind of limits you. And he was like, you're probably the nicest guy I've ever met on the internet as well. And we were really close. We were really good friends, and we were always there to help each other's. Even though we had very different personalities, like, I'm the guy that's really emotional. I'm pretty intense, you know? I rage. I don't try to find solutions. I go immediately with emotions. He was from Ukraine. So, I mean, even with all our differences, we were really, really good friends. That's probably the fucking greatest friends I've ever had, to be real. And he kind of disappeared like that. And I remember wanting him to, I was like, hey, one day you'll come to Canada, and we'll meet each other. It'll be nice. Don't worry. You'll get out of this place one day. And, well, I'm thinking about it, and he somewhat is out of this place. And he never really came back. It kind of disappeared. Hello, Prince. So, basically, you would play with me for a long time, and then you would just go to sleep because he had work and all. He was studying and all. He was a very, very kind of nice guy. Goodbye, Prince. So, after all that, after he disappeared, he kind of disappeared out the radar. I tried to contact him. I tried to play with him. I tried to just send message to him on Curse Voice. I was trying so freaking hard. We had Discord, a server called Live Phoenix. I don't remember if we had a Discord. I think we had a Discord. Yes, we did. Rey Brujo on Discord. We made a Discord for Live Phoenix. If I scroll up, we've got a bunch of people who used to be here. I was like, oh boy, that is all. So we had a Discord for Live Phoenix, and the guy was in there. Ray was there, and I mean, he downloaded it for me. And then we had another Discord, a Curse Voice channel. Yeah, we made. It was like Phoenix. And, I mean, we had that. We just had that. We would do it for the server, you know? We had big plans for the server, and it really failed. You know, it would have been great if it didn't fail. I just underestimated. I had no experience with Minecraft servers whatsoever, and that was what caused all failure. What I had in mind was that it would go just as Gary's mod went. I thought it would be the exact same thing, but clearly I overestimated my knowledge. Not every games have the same kind of server. So after a while, well, Ray kind of disappeared. After about 5 months, I saw him online. He wasn't doing anything. I think for an hour or three, he wasn't playing. He wasn't even playing any games, responding to any messages, and he never really replied. So, about 3 months after that, I went on December 09, 2016, Sunday, February 19, 2017, basically 4 months after our last conversation. I sent a message to him on Curse Voice saying, "It's been a while since we last talked, old friend," and it really was. But now one day, after I think 7 months or 9 months after I said that, I had zero news from him. I was wondering where he went. I never really forgot him. He always kept that special place in my head and in my heart. He was really, really a great guy, and I wouldn't forget him, because he completely changed my view on a lot of stuff. And 9 months after, I remember, because I had one of his Ukrainian friends in my friend list on Smite, and I sent a message. I never expected a reply, because they were not really. His friends couldn't really speak English that well, so I just went and asked his friend, "Hey, where did Ray go?" And his friend did not reply quite that quickly. And then he just told me, "Ray's dead." And I was like, nah, you got to be kidding. And I said, "What? How?" And he replied, "Cancer." Ray, all along in that fucking story, it wasn't his parents getting sick. It wasn't his friend, the girl. That wasn't the boyfriend that broke up with her. That was him having cancer all along and just trying to hide it from me because he didn't want me to be sad. He was just trying to hide all that thing. And that few time he had left, he spent it with me, trying to realize another big dream I had, to make a big Minecraft server. All he did, that few time he had left with his life, he tried to realize someone's dream. That, when I think about it again, he didn't want me to buy him games because, dude, he knew his time was short. He knew everything that was happening. He knew it, and he knew that if he told me that I'd be sad, and I probably would have been depressed, and he didn't want me to go through that. Dude, this guy he was a legend. It's fucking, when you hear about, it's always the best ones that leave first. That was the greatest guy of all time. Fucking nicest person of all time. And I'm just wondering if he'd be alive today. If he was alive, where would he be? He had so much potential. He had clearly he had a great future, but fucking cancer, it came and knocked him down. And he stood strong. And he tried to realize someone's dream. Instead of just saying, oh no, I'll just stay in bed and wait for my fate to come and kill me. He just stood up and tried to help me. That's just fucking insane when you think about it. This guy, everything. It wasn't, after all, we met on the internet. He could have done anything. Like, he could have spent his time with his family and all. But his efforts were on making one dream come true. And I'm still wondering if that experience he was saying that he would get was actually true. I'm just wondering if he was just trying to acquire experience, or if he just didn't care because he knew that it was the last project he was going to do. I'm just wondering. I'll never know. There are so many questions that yet will never be answered because he's gone. It's just so depressing. I'm sure that, honestly, if he was still alive, he'd be a moderator. He'd be by my side. He'd be playing with me some days, and it would definitely be with me. It would be with me. Period. Maybe he would be playing Fortnite. Maybe it'd be the dream duo. I mean, we probably would be the dream duo, because the first time we played with each other, we ended up getting an amazing game. An awesome game. Insane game. He was young as well. He was like 20. And he managed to leave Ukraine. He's not in Ukraine anymore. But he did not leave Ukraine the way we intended him to. So there. He was able to try and realize one of my dreams, but I wasn't able to get him to realize his dream. Life, dude. Fuck, man. Just comes in and fucking brings you up just as it knocks you down. Dude. And I only learned 9 months after, and I was like, dude, all this time, he wasn't doing anything with his life. He was actually dead. He couldn't reply because of that. You know, it's not as easy for me to say this, but it's the world we live in. It's part of reality. It is. It is. But he did change my mind. He did change my vision on a lot of things. And it's just so sad to see people like him just leave this world. Like, together we were a dream team, even with our differences or personality. Like, I was literally just, I've said this before, I was the emotional guy just getting pissed off, raging, and he was the guy that would just, instead of just even getting pissed, he would analyze his mistakes. He would just not get pissed whatsoever. He would be the wise one. He would just he would tell me, dude, it's okay. He would find the words, and I know it's not easy to find the words to calm me down. Because once I get into it, it's hard for me to fucking step down. So today, guys, this stream is in his honor. He was that legend. It will never die. His story will remain. And never ever will I forget him. Never. I will never forget about him. Yeah, he was that. And It was that kind of guy that would think about the others before himself. He was that kind. He was a generous man. He was a hero. Not all fucking heroes wear capes. And I'm pretty sure this guy never ever knew that I would manage to get there. And the worst part is that I had to move on. I had no clue what happened to Ray, and I was just hoping. I had no clue that it happened to him. He managed to hide it so freaking well that when they told me he was long gone, I was like, what? Dude, it was just like a shot through the fucking heart, dude. It was awful. It was like, no, it can't be. It has to be a joke. But his friend, he wasn't joking. Not for shit. It was sad. It was the fucking time I learned it. I was like, dude, no, it can't be. A guy like him, dead? No, he could beat this freaking world. He could beat this country. He could get out of there and live one of the greatest life of all time. He was smart enough. He could have been a fucking future man. He could have fucking made inventions and all that shit. He was so freaking smart. He had everything. And just because of one shitty ass fucking disease, he left. Your mom has stage 4 cancer, so this story really speaks to my heart. I'm crying right now. Like I said, I'm not a guy that cries. I don't cry. Last time I cried is like 2 years ago. That tells you an idea, if that gives you an idea. And last time I cried was when I left my community. I left HGS. I cried because I went through a lot with it. And this, honestly, it makes, like, I don't cry. I die in the inside. It's not a well-placed joke. Fuck me. That's the kind of heroes we need in this world. I will never find someone as generous, as with so much potential, as smart, as freaking insane as he was. This guy, is the kind of heroes we need in this world. And it's the kind of heroes that too often die. They too often die and remain forgotten. And they need to be known. And not just for a month, not just for a week, forever. Their story need to remain. If I wasn't a streamer today, I'd manage to fucking share the story with everyone. I would share it with everyone, because this guy deserves to know. This guy, if there is an afterlife, which, I mean, I'm skeptical as fuck. I'm like, if there's an afterlife, there's an afterlife. I think religion washes our mind. We fight against each other because of that. And I think what we need to believe in is in what? The present. That's what we need to believe in. The present. If there's a God, then there's a God. If you want to pray to get his favor, pray. It's alright. But it shouldn't be called a religion. There shouldn't be a book about it. And if there is an afterlife, I just hope this guy is there. And I hope he can fucking... I hope he's there with me. I hope he's there, and he's there by my shoulder, and just proud of what I've become. Some way we did not realize the dream of getting a server together. But we did manage to get an amazing adventure. so fucking sad. It was a waste of time. That's what hurts the most. That it wasn't successful. If at least it would have been successful, it would have at least been worth his time. He's in the Elysian Fields right now. I suppose. Wherever he is. I just hope that he's proud of what we're doing. I just hope he's proud of what we've become. And I just want him to know. I hope he knew that he probably was the nicest. I've told him before. He was the nicest. The smartest. And the most generous man I've ever met. And I really want him to know that I'll never forget him. I want him to know how much this first game of Smite together meant. I just want him to know how much this small game of Smite, that small game, it meant so much. When you look back, all that story, all we've been through with him, all we did together. It started with a first game and a friend invite. And some few messages. And we developed what could have been a freaking long-term relationship, dude. I swear. It probably was the best friend I've ever had. Especially judging the fact that back then I was depressed as fuck. And he was there. He was that guy that popped up out of nowhere. And he was like, that guardian angel. I wish I was there back then. I wish I could have joined. I wish I could have helped. He's such a good person. Nothing I can say, well. If this channel does get big one day, I think I explained the reason pretty well why I'm donating to fucking cancer. I'm broke as fuck and I donate to cancer. For a fact, today I've donated $5 to cancer. I make some tip. You know, I'm a bagger, people tip me. And man, don't give a shit about money for a reason. The real goal in this world is people like him. And that's the goal that disappears too quickly. That's the kind of goal that fucking disappears too quickly and just gets buried under other stories. That's the kind of goal that we need to just dig up and bring back to the surface with us. But he did. After all, he did really change my vision on a lot of things. And after I learned that he was gone from cancer, I began to understand what was going on behind the scene, why he was muting his mic, why he wasn't there that often, why his parents were sad, why everything. That's just he did this all for me. There is absolutely no word to explain how much I'm thankful for all that he's done. The kindest people are the ones that suffer. That is true, man. That is some true shit right there. If there is such thing as destiny, I guess if there is no such thing as destiny, then it is a hell of a coincidence that this guy just appeared out of nowhere. We were the greatest duo of all time. We were unbeatable together, without even knowing each other's. It's like we had been playing together for hundreds of years. And then, out of a sudden, this happens, and he chose to help me, and then everything. And if there's no such thing as destiny, then life sure has a weird way to work. Listen, dude, I've got to go. I just want to let you know that I'm grateful for ending this story. I'm so grateful to you. Thank you. Have a good night. Have a good night, HJ. Thanks for sharing this story. I appreciate it. You're most welcome, guys. It's not only for you that I share this story, but for him as well. It's the least I can do. I know he's not there anymore. I know you might not even know that I've done that because he's gone. But never will I ever be able to share with him how grateful I am. Like, he legit changed a big part of my life. And all of that began with a simple game, which then ended up realizing dreams, and which then ended up with this awful but motivating story that I will never ever forget. That is... I have no words to describe it. I'm not good with words, but I want you to know this reality touched my soul, but I don't really know how to express it. Actually, not the time. Be gone. Oh my god, HJ. I thought you were gone. I thought you were gone, HJ. Thought I told you. Have a good night. You know, I think that's the saddest story I have. You know, fun fact, a story time with Calvery was a thing when I first started streaming. If you go on my YouTube channel, you can find these videos. And they were pretty successful. It's just that sometimes it's kind of hard to share these stories. Like, I've been through some pretty rough shit in my life, honestly. And I don't share that with anyone because damn, is it painful to fucking share it. Especially because English is not my mother tongue. It would be so freaking hard to share it without, like, giving a big punch in the heart. But I just wanted to let you know, I've been through some fucked up shit. And this is by far the story that affected me the most. We didn't even know each other's in real life. And this legit fucking changed my perception on a lot of stuff. Yeah. So, a story time with Calvery was back for one episode today. But if you guys want, we can bring it back. We can bring it back forever. We can make it something that happens once in 2 weeks. Once every 2 weeks, we have a story time with Calvery schedule, and I share a story with that's either hard to take, either funny, either motivating, either depressing. I think a story that would be really hard to really, it would be like talking about my life in general, what I've been through when younger. It would be a story that could give a lot of you some motivation. It could actually be something. It would be really rough to talk about. It would really be rough to talk about it. But I think it could do some good if I managed to talk about it. So, you didn't know each other. You didn't know each other. People online, we only see what people want us to see. We exist as raw personality in this machine. I know you as a person. Generous, kind, smart, funny. Yeah. It's all personality. And what if you didn't meet in real life? It's a pretty good point. We most likely would have met in real life. Fucking hell. Just gonna drink. Feel the pain. You might want to go back in the VOD, You know, I do care about my sponsorship, but it's not the time to do that. I have respect. You can't comprehend how much I respect this guy. I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't dare to do that. It would be so unrespectful. I have honor, man. I have a lot of honor. Honor is important to me. So it's the time for sneak time. I'd unfollow right now. Dude, sneak should not be a thing in story time with Calvery. Okay? We talk about some real dark shit in story time with Calvery. Is your name Calvery like Calvary? No. Oh, hey, it's a song with a voice. Okay. A moment of silence for Rey, everyone.
We broke our promises. One too many times. When hope is a ghost, fear survives. I'm just gonna sit here. I'm just gonna stay here for a while. Need to catch my breath here. What do we do now? Look at the empty stairs.
Okay.
Owen's mighty men, fallen and fragile, so unsure.
Should we bring a story time with Calvery back? A real question. Do you guys want me to bring it back? Of course, it's some rough stories to take, but I know some people here in my audience go through some really rough shit every day, and I sincerely think it could help some of you guys out. gotta fix your green screen, kinda. Not the time, French. You missed one of the fucking worst stories of all time, man. Yeah, that was pretty heavy to take. I like how you tell stories. I mean, here's the thing. I could actually tell stories on this show way more often than that. Because, well, I go to the internet to escape that rough shit. I really appreciate you showing me I'm not alone. But I need to escape that shit. Just know that we all go through some pretty insane shit, dude. Sometimes it's heavy. It's heavy to share everything. But, like, starting conversations like that can help people to share what they are going through. It helps to talk about it. Legit, this is a way to talk about it, and I know some people in my channel, in my audience, go through some really, really hardcore shit. Like, I don't even want to fucking think about it. And just know that if you're going through some rough shit, dude, you're not alone. And it's important. It is really important that you know that you're not alone. What's your song start, though? Not the time, motherfucker. That is not the time. You just ruined the fucking moment. Oh. You kind of liked it? You know, I don't even know why I know so much about psychology. But if you hear that song again, you're going to think about what just happened. You're going to think about what I just did. What about that story? It's going to either bring you motivation, and it's going to bring you sadness, probably. But you will remember this story because of this song. Just because it was the only song with lyrics in. And it was a song I chose to put a moment of silence for this guy. What was that song? Hold on, let me just find it for you, my dude. That song. What the hell?
When hope is a ghost.
Hope is a Ghost. That is the name of the song.
Look at the state we're in.
He was too important to just fade into the dust of our minds. I'm so confused.
We fight and stumble.
You really gotta watch the VOD if you want to understand, guys. But for real, right now is not the time to make jokes. You know, I sometimes, okay, it can be fun. Sometimes we're pretty funny and all, but we're talking about a really sad story here, and I don't think it's the moment for that. This song is forever gonna fucking remind me of Ray as well.
I'm just gonna sit here.
Just damn. Here. That is the song you're looking for. Alright, time to go into a conclusion. We need to bring this wonderful story down to a conclusion. Okay. Rey will forever be remembered. And I sincerely think that if this guy, I wish this guy could see where we are now. I sincerely wish that he was still there to just realize how far his actions went. Like, yes, he didn't realize my dream, but everything, it changed just because of him. He did everything. And that was just a small action for me at first. But it meant the world for him. It definitely did. That was his last thing that he did. And he will forever be remembered as a hero for that. And the kindest man I've ever met. Rey, I loved him. He was like a brother to me, man. It hurts, dude. That was my fucking brother, man. Not by blood or anything, but legit. Who's that guy that will be there for you? And I don't want him to be ever forgotten. I always will remember him, and I want the world to know about him. People like him should be remembered, and he needs to be remembered. Most stories you see on the internet are made up. They're not even real. And this guy, he is real. He is the legend. The one that actually did that. I really appreciate you talking about this. Not many people will delve deep into this shit. Not many people dare to go that way. Not many people dare to approach this subject because it's hard to approach. Most people who dare do that don't really go in depth because it's so hard to talk about it. You cannot comprehend unless you've actually been through it. And the only thing you can actually do is to just take that and remember it and let it tailor your life.